Hey everyone, my name is Titanic, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time since I've recorded a video for YouTube. It's been a long time since I've said any part of my intro. It's been a while, but I absolutely had to come back today and say hello because today marks 7 years to the day since I founded Titancraft. Episode 1 of the Titancraft series went up 7 years ago today on July 22nd, 2015. Right here, in this very area we're standing in. This is where the spawn was. I'm actually in the original version, 1.8.7. I didn't really know what to do to celebrate this occasion. I just have been so busy that the thought of putting together some crazy special has been impossible. I thought about doing a stream, and I just don't have time for a stream either. And so I thought, what better way to celebrate than to just simply go back to where we started and just talk for a bit and just wander around, see what Minecraft was like back then 7 years ago. I mean, it's honestly a mind-boggling amount of time back. The amount of things that have changed in that time just never ceases to amaze me. I'm kind of confused. I feel like my player walking sounds are way too quiet, but it is surreal to be back here. That is for damn sure. The last time I uploaded to YouTube was when the Titancraft series ended last November, I believe November 19th, on the 1000th episode of the total series, the final episode of the 10th season. And so I think this is where episode 1 was back in 2015. Just incredible. We're so far from where we started, it's hard for me to fathom. I mean, when I started Titancraft, I was 12. I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to mimic YouTubers that I liked, and after a series of trial and error with other different multiplayer projects that I had tried on YouTube, and nearly quitting YouTube, I decided to give it another shot with a more organized SMP that was heavily inspired by Minecraft. And I just went from there. I mean, being 12, and everything when you're 12 goes by slow. Time just ticks by. And so it's like, okay, cool. Let's just have fun and see where it goes. And so I had high expectations, but never in a million years did I actually expect Titancraft to last this long. The fact that I am now 19, almost 19 and a half, and Titancraft is still alive and well is just mind-boggling. Now, given the vanilla Minecraft series is no more, we voluntarily ended it on a high note, and this is actually my first time playing any games in over 3 months. It's different, but the group is still alive, we still talk, and at some point we want to do something else as a group. We're kind of just split. Minecraft's been kind of letting us down recently. I'm sure everybody in the community has their thoughts about 1.19 and 1.19.1. Definitely an ugly thing in my opinion, but that's not the point of today. Today's a positive video. And again, you just look back at just how much things have changed. It's rather incredible. Now, I guess besides the fact that I last uploaded on the 19th of November last year with the season 10 finale, I did do a brief 1.18 stream as my first reaction to the update for my channel anniversary last December, and that was so-so. I honestly, after I got done with the stream, I was kind of like, that was boring. So it wasn't that great of a thing in my opinion. I definitely struggled with 1.18. We did play. We had a little server called Bordercraft. Real informal, but basically the idea was every time somebody got an achievement, the world border grew. Basically like Captive Minecraft, except playing it by basically pure vanilla standards. And that was cool, and something that was definitely a nice change of pace during the winter months, but that was the last. And that was the only significant Minecraft thing I've done so far since Season 10 ended, and I haven't touched Bordercraft in like 4 months, so. And we never did finish it. We were so close to the end, but the everybody kind of lost some motivation, and then I got super duper busy, and that kind of killed it. Oh, it's so weird to be back here. The game is in so many ways so similar to how it is now, but at the same time it's also so incredibly different. It's definitely a weird feeling. So many missing features. It's, I don't know, I could honestly just go on for hours about all the memories we have filming this series. It was one of my, I mean, it's by far my favorite thing we've ever worked on, and it was so much fun. As much work as it was, and as much of the second half of my childhood that I burned up with it, I totally am happy that I did it. Like, it was 100% worth it. It was something that I'll never forget, and I definitely had so many positive experiences from it. It was just so great. But I mean, I think 7 years ago, it was 4 of us that started the entire series. It was myself, Login, Ship, and Icer, who at that point was Dom, because her and Dom, being siblings, shared a Minecraft account. And I think it was just the 4 of us back then. And Titancraft, for the first 3 years, never at any point had more than 11 members in it. Which is kind of weird to think about. And then as time went on, Titancraft got bigger and bigger. I forgot how many bunnies actually spawned back here. God. In the modern day, I swear you never see rabbits. Anyways, that's a tangent. But at Titancraft's peak during the middle of Season 10 during our expansion wave, we got all the way up to briefly 63 members, which was just too much. And especially considering how many of them really weren't interested in being a part of the community, they just wanted to be part of an SMP, so they applied and then quickly either left on their own or got kicked for inactivity. The group has settled down at, I believe, 33 members, and that's been working pretty well. I mean, given there's still quite a few inactive people, but we haven't had any major organized projects in so long, it's hard to really judge activity anymore. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. And that's fine. I mean, the group's a lot older. I mean, when we started the group, I was 12, Ice was 12, Login was 13, and I believe Ship had just turned 17 the week before. So, I mean, none of us were adults. And now, like, half of Titancraft is in adulthood, or at least in high school. And so, I mean, we're just so much more focused on real adult things. Our priorities have shifted, and I think that's probably the most important thing about Titancraft now is preserving the friendships we made. Even if we don't have time to play video games together, is preserving what we created over the course of these last 7 years. Now, for me, it's like I always say time flies and all that stuff, and I've been saying it a lot since like Season 5 of Titancraft, roughly. Even, I guess, pretty early on, but really after Season 5, I always just say, time flies by, I can't believe that we're already at this anniversary, this anniversary, this anniversary. But to, like, now that we're at 7 years, I mean, it's getting to a point where it's kind of hard to put into perspective. And so the best way I can think about it and try to make things obvious for us. This is actually off topic. This is where my first hidey hole of the series was, so I think it's only fitting that we make our little camp for the night here. If I can try to dig down and find some coal so we can get some light. It's really freaking dark. Don't appreciate it. No. Anyways, the best way I have found to put into perspective of just how long it's been since Titancraft was founded, is my birthday is on the 7th of February. And so my golden birthday, the year in which your age matches the day of the month, was when I was 7. And I remember my 7th birthday so well. It was when I realized my golden birthday was coming up when I was like 6.5. I got so excited and I was like hyping up it was going to be the best day ever and all of this. And to think, at that point I felt like I'd been on this earth for quite a while. And I think just now the time that Titancraft has been alive and well is the same time from the day I was born to when I celebrated my golden birthday. It's just a mind-boggling fact for me to think about, that it's been that long. And that this group is still ongoing. Obviously always changing, and that's not a bad thing by any means. I mean, we all get older, times change, and you just have to adapt to it. So, I'm definitely happy that we have come this far, and I look forward to whatever comes next. Now, do I think that we're gonna ever go back to making Minecraft videos and having full publicized series? Highly, highly unlikely. It would take a major event to do something like that. And mainly it would probably take one of us finding a way to make money off of YouTube, because again, we're all adults now, and at some point we kind of had to do this thing called make money to live. You can't, unlike when you're 12 and you can just play video games during every hour of your free time that you're not sleeping or at school, which during the summer would be like 15 hours a day a lot of the time for me. Now, life takes priority, and that means doing adult things like making money. And so, it's a lot different, obviously. And so I don't have, I mean, I always said, with the Titancraft series, you would have swore it was my full-time job. And so I always said it was it's like I put the time of a full-time job into it, but I never made anything from it except the fun I got out of it. And so, for all the hours I worked, I never got any farther ahead besides the friendship games that were all online as well. I guess during the time of everything we've had, I have got to meet up with Logan twice. He came out to Minnesota during Season 1. And then I returned the favor during Season 4 and went out to Michigan. And then Trevor, during Season 10, and then again the week after Season 10 ended, made a trip out to see me, which was super cool. But see, I get more stuff cooking. And so, but I mean, it kind of killed my any chance I had at having friends IRL. But that, again, it's the price you pay. It's the things you do to have some memories. And let's see where I was trying to go. I got off track. I got off topic trying to focus on my conversation and playing Minecraft. It's tough. I haven't done this in a long time. Again, even the end of Titancraft was so much kind of just grandiose showing stuff off and progress updates that I haven't done like just raw Minecraft content like this in a long stinking time. And it's different. It's definitely very different for me. How have I not hit coal though? This is like the worst luck ever. Okay, let's get some food cooking. And then more torches to keep hunting for coal. So where else was I going to take this conversation? I'm having brain farts. My apologies. I don't know, it's just... The friends I have made along the journey here have been so important. And I guess you look back and... I mean, obviously I'm not in the room that I started the series in, as much as I wish I could have been there. For the anniversary, it would have been fun. I've been living at my farm full time now for almost 2.5 years, thanks to the pandemic. And so the city home that I lived in for so long, I visit there once every few months. I just never go home. And that's been a major life change for me during the series. And having Titancraft to fall back on, I mean, I didn't have many friends in high school to start with, but then when you seclude yourself 100 miles away from your house, your school, and all the people you've ever really been close to, I mean, again, it's a big change. And I would have been very, very alone without this group. And so I'm so grateful that Titancraft has been able to do that for not only me, but I know many other people. I mean, the friendships in this group have been everything. And I'm so glad that we're able to do that as a group. It's so special. Oh, what else do I gotta say here? I mean, you look back though, I guess the pandemic has been quite the era, but even as long as the pandemic feels, I mean, even that, Titancraft was already 4.5 years old when the pandemic set in, and so it's like, there was still a lot more Titancraft pre-pandemic than since it. I remember this ravine, oh my god. I suppose because I dug the same staircase 7 years ago, but like, damn, I remember this. Anyways, I don't know, it's just surreal. And I know tonight I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna watch some of the old anniversary episodes to see the evolution. I mean, I was such a squeaker at first, and this is my third computer of the series. That's by far the longest one I've used. The first ones I used for, or the all-in-one I had when I started YouTube, I used for half of season 1. Then I got my old desktop, which I used for like 2 years until the middle of season 5, and then I switched to this one, and I've been using that now for a long while already. It's gonna be 4.5 years since I got this computer. Holy crap. Hard for me to believe. And some days I'm like, I could consider upgrading, but it's like, what's the point? I don't have time to binge play video games anymore. Why would I want to waste a bunch of money right now on a new computer that I would hardly get to use when this one is still working just fine as it is? You get what I'm saying. That's still nighttime fun. Okay, back to mining. Now, again, it is kind of amazing to believe. This is Minecraft 1.8.7. So through Titancraft's run, we have seen the releases in the series, especially of 1.9, 1.10, 1.11, 1.12, 1.13, 1.14, 1.15, 1.16, and finally 1.17. 1.18 dropped right around the time Season 10 ended, but Season 10 never was on 1.18. And obviously 1.19 is quite new, so for obvious reasons, that wasn't part of the main series. What's going on here? Looking for coal, but I mean, the game has changed so much, and I still regard Minecraft 1.8 as my favorite singular version of Minecraft. I mean, now with Season 10 and Season 5, it's nowhere near my most played version anymore, as it was at the time we upgraded to 1.9, but I mean, it is still undoubtedly my favorite version of the game. I think it's so well fleshed out. It's probably the most stable version of Minecraft you're gonna find. Even with the missing features, I think it has the fewest negatives for the most positives, which is a big deal, obviously. Because Minecraft has gone kind of bad about having a lot of negatives. I mean, a lot. But again, that's kind of the price you pay. Let's go into battle, shall we? We get to spam click. That's so wild. That when Titancraft started, spam click was the way of life. And I was so pissed in Season 1 when spam click was murdered. Now, after all these years, does it bother me as much? No. I still wish that the cooldown was done differently. I like the combat testing where they made it so you just couldn't attack during the cooldown. It's so much more helpful, but I don't know. I'm not as bitter about it as I was back in 2016 when 1.9 came out on Leap Day, February 29th. I remember that pretty well. And at that point, I didn't think we at Titancraft would probably live to see the next Leap Day in 2020, but it did. And now we are over halfway to the next Leap Day, which is kind of wild to think about. So, as we get to near the end of this little video here, this one-off thing, I would love to say that I have time to start a new series and play, but the reality is, for one, if I started a new Minecraft series, it would not be a 1.8. I love this version, but I am not ready to lose all of the modern features. In fact, my next Minecraft project is likely going to be a creative world. I would like to just build and have some fun. And so, maybe I'll stream some of that at some point. I don't know. For the most part, though, YouTube, unless I have some, like, epiphany that tells me, like, this is what I need to do on YouTube, this is how I can make this work, and how I can balance my time and make the most out of it for myself, both emotionally and financially, then I will happily do some YouTube stuff again. But for now, I don't have any plans for any series, just because I don't feel comfortable promising anything that I can't finish, and I don't have any confidence in myself that I would be able to finish anything that I start, which is simply why I'm going to kind of just leave it here. I wanted to celebrate the occasion, but then we just had to get ready to move on to the next step in the next phase of the journey, you know? And so, while it was fun, everything we've done in the last 7 years on YouTube, this kind of is my, I don't want to say farewell, but it's definitely kind of also an update to say, hey, I'm alive, I'm well, but I definitely am stepping away from YouTube, and at some point there's going to be more stuff again. At some point I plan to probably do a stream or two here or there. I'm sure that in a year from now, you can bet your ass I'll be back for the 8th anniversary. Like, I'm not going to miss something that is the anniversary of something that has means so much. I mean, it's basically like my child, this group. I have put so much into it, it means the world to me. I would never let myself neglect the Titancraft series and the server and everything with it. It's just too important to me. It's been my life, and I definitely would never give it up. But, as I said, we also grow up, and so it's not like I have time anymore to go around and play all these different games and make all these different videos just for the fun of it. I mean, again, first time I've played a video game in over 3 months. I haven't played Minecraft since, I think, the end of March, maybe? Almost 4 months ago. Factorio was the last game I played before this. It's been a long time. And, again, it's been... I keep saying again, but, I mean, seriously, it's been such a different feeling being so separated from the life that I lived for so long. But it's just part of growing as a person and growing up, and so it's from here to the next chapter. It's been such a fun ride, though. I've enjoyed it so much. I definitely at times do miss it a little bit. I don't miss it as much as I thought I would, though. I will admit that. When we ended season 10, I was even to a point where I'm like, maybe ending it off wasn't the right choice. And it wasn't very long after that I'm like, oh my god, why did I even say that? No, it was the right choice. It was time. And I'm very glad that we did that, because otherwise you would have seen a train wreck of a new series. But yeah, all is well. At some point, Titancraft is gonna pop back up here or there for something, and that's kind of what I have to say about it all. It's been, again, 7 years, though. Such an incredible run. And to think how much the world has changed since 2015, just mind-boggling. It's so hard for me to wrap my head around. As hard as I try, it just doesn't really set in all the time. It's like, yeah, it's been 7 years. It's amazing. And I should say, I do wish I would have had time to put together something a little more special for the occasion, but I thought, you know what? I know I just want to talk, and I don't want to just do a blank screen or just stare at my character for a while, so why not just play a little bit of 1.8 where we started, you know? Back where, I guess what you could say, where the good old days really kicked off for us. I mean, it was a solid run, and I'm so happy with everything that's gone on over this time window. I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of ups, a lot of big downs, but we survived and we persevered as a group. And since the last time I'd made anything on YouTube, I've been in treatment for depression and anxiety, and I mean, I'm not perfect, and I mean, you never can become perfect, but I've made so much progress in that time, and I'm so much happier with the human I become that we have a lot to celebrate, and it's definitely something to talk about. It's good to talk about the good things in life. Now, I'm just trying to think if I have any other points to make here before I wrap it up. Obviously, as you're seeing this on YouTube, it's not like I did any edited production here. I'm going face value, back what I did in the old days. The only difference is I'm actually going to have I'm gonna pick out a nice screenshot for the thumbnail instead of doing what I did in the old days of just letting YouTube pick some ugly ass thumbnail for it. Yeah, it's all part of the game of YouTube, I guess you could call it. In the game of life. I will admit, I think when I last said something on YouTube, I kind of hinted that I was going to do a farming simulator let's play in the near future that clearly never happened, and my apologies about that one. I also had been, I guess I can kind of talk about this since it's the cat's out of the bag. I'm not going to be doing anything YouTube related for a while, if at all. And at the time, for like the last 6 to 12 months of me working on the Titancraft series, I really was thinking that I was gonna follow it up with a major Terraria single player series, but again, clearly never happened, just never had the time. And while it would have been nice, it is what it is, you know? We make the most of it. We gotta be happy with what we've done. And happy with how far we've come. So as we get to the end here, though, I just want to say, again, thank you to everyone that's made this possible. There's been, obviously, as the leader of the group and the founder, I've had a lot of control over the group, and I've been, I mean, it's not an unfair statement to say that without my constant pushing through the tough times, the group wouldn't have survived. It was me saying, hey, let's keep this going. Let's keep this group moving along that made it this long. But the amount of people that made the journey worth it and gave me a reason to keep pushing. I mean, I couldn't have done this by myself. I say all the time, I hate single player. I just can't stand it for the most part. And it's hard to put into words sometimes. Can I fit this in on one side? Yeah, we can. There we go. I don't know. It's been one heck of a journey. And like always, some things never change. My ability to keep rambling and putting off doing the outro. I mean, and it's rightfully a tough one for me to do, because I know this is a goodbye for a while, and I don't want to say it's goodbye forever, because I really don't think it is, but I probably won't be doing anything on YouTube for a while. Maybe this winter I'll try out a few things, and when the farm life slows down a little bit for me, but I really don't even have time anymore. Well, again, I haven't had time to play games for 4 months, so I definitely don't have time to do a Let's Play or even a streamed series. Although I do kind of miss streaming Terraria Tuesdays. We'll see, though. Maybe something like that'll make a return at some point. I know Terraria has a major update in the works with 1.4.4, and maybe, just maybe, I'll do something for that. Who knows? Can't promise anything, but again, as the sun sets here on this world and this day, thank you so much for 7 years. I can't stress it enough. It's meant the world to me. And here's to another 7 years of Titancraft. Things are gonna be so... God, 7 more years. That's gonna take us to almost to the end of the decade. Holy crap, it's wild. But yeah, thank you so much for watching as always. I hope you enjoyed this little talky talk, look back at Minecraft 1.8, and I'll see you guys sometime around, hopefully in the future. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye-bye.